Is this the best gallery of painted miniatures ever made? So this is Fantasy Miniatures by Citadel Miniatures, which is a gallery of sorts of the 1988 Golden Demon Painting Awards. And as you can see, it's quite a thin book. I do apologise for the screaming baby downstairs. He is teething at the moment. Now the art on the front here is very nice, and it is credited as someone called Fangorn. I don't know who Fangorn is, but I really like his artwork. I think this was the same artist who did the artwork on the front of the old painting collections, painting box sets as it were. I myself I myself have never entered Golden Demon, so you won't be seeing any of my work inside this beautiful book. However, when this came out in 1988, I would have been very young, either 6 or 7 years old. Anyway, that's enough waffle. Let's jump in and have a look. Okay, here we have a lovely hardback book known as Fantasy Miniatures, and I don't know if this is the first one or the second one of these, but we'll find out when we get deeper into the book. On the front is this lovely piece of the Golden Demon himself being ridden by the smaller blue demon. We don't know what his name is. This was painted by Fangorn. Side of the book gives you an indication of how thick it is. It's a Games Workshop publication apparently, 00131 dropped 6. Not sure why there's a dropped 6. Inside we have this lovely Rorschach looking effect, and to me I see a face here with a couple of things and fangs holding his arms out wide. What do you see? We have an inscription here, and this was not anything to do with me. It says, "Nothing is real that is not first dreamt of. Happy birthday, Nick, with best wishes from Steve." If anyone knows who either Nick or Steve are, then please let us know in the comments below. Maybe I bought this book from you, who knows? Okay, so I think this is the 1988 book, the second Fantasy Miniatures book. We probably should have looked at the first one first, but I don't know where that is. Anyway, let's jump in. So we have a bit of, this doesn't have a title. We just have like an introduction of sorts, and then we move on to the origins of Golden Demon and this book, and some lovely pictures from the Golden Demon Awards themselves. Hello, camera, just going on the skew there, sort him out. It's on nice matte paper. I do like this, it's not all reflective and cheap and glossy. We have an article on the growth of the hobby, and then some miniatures painted by the Games Workshop studio staff at the time. And this is a lovely piece here by John Blanche featuring the Mona Lisa herself. I wonder if he stole that and shrunk it down to fit his miniature. I doubt it. Here we see the staff themselves, all looking very bright-eyed and cheerful. And so they should be, working for Games Workshop in the late 80s. Some more wonderful pieces of art here by the Games Workshop staff. I'm sure you'll all remember this piece, this Blood Angels group here by Ali Morrison. And it's absolutely wonderful. For a minute I thought he had a banner pole, but I realised that it's someone behind him carrying the banner. We move on to some miniatures here by Paul Benson, and everyone always enjoys these two old Space Marine Dreadnought conversions. If anyone recognises the piece of scenery this is that these Eldar are standing on, then please let us all know in the comments below. Okay, so it's our man Fraser Gray up next, and I can't stop looking at these reflective pieces on the sort of scale mail miniatures here. They are absolutely wonderful. I wonder if he used some sort of metallic sequin or something to produce that effect. He's also done some absolutely stunning freehand work on these banners and shields. Incredible. Look at this, there's a Gretchen pulling a Moonie. Something I haven't done for quite a long time. I'm not sure if I ever will again. Wonderful pieces by Michael Image here, or Michael Imig. Was never 100% sure on how to pronounce his name, but amazing work nonetheless. I always enjoyed this old Nazgul conversion or diorama here. The old Nazgul miniatures were very strange indeed, with a sort of vulture look to them. Here we see some previous winners of Golden Demon. This was from the 1987 awards. Here you can see them in their winners t-shirts. Absolutely marvellous, those t-shirts. Does anyone out there still have their 1987 t-shirts? Beautiful piece here, love that banner. And there's an appearance of Arnold Schwarzenegger over here as the Terminator on this Crocosaurus's banner. Not sure if Crocosaurus is a real thing, but that's what it looks like to me. Here they are talking about Games Day 1988 itself. Notice here a 2-litre bottle of Coca-Cola with, 69p written on that. Nowadays they're a couple of quid. So we can see that prices have overly doubled, or more than doubled, I think is the correct term. Some Marines executing someone there, Brother Blake I believe. Although if it's a demise you could say it's the shooter, if he's corrupted himself or whatever. So while looking at the artwork on the front of this book, you can see there's a blue demon riding on the top of the golden demon, and if you take a look at the tip of the blue demon's paintbrush, you can see a little inscription, and it says, if you're enjoying this video, then please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. That means you, Carl. If you are enjoying the content here on the channel, then please consider joining the Patreon, the link to which is in the description below or up here somewhere. 7-Up hang glider there, one of the Marines' favourite methods of transport. Lots of beautiful pieces in here. For some reason I thought that piece was by David Soper, but it says here it's John Lewis. That's very interesting. I might have to look into that at some point. Lots of dragons. Probably would be lots of dragons because we are now looking at the dragons category. The category before was single figures. Look at the size of this base. Surely he hasn't used a massive stone for that. It would weigh a ton. Yet more dragons here. Lots of colour going on here. Very nice. And this dragon has a ghetto blaster or boombox for all you youngsters out there. Some more monsters over here. That's the old Balrog from the Bridge of Khazad-dûm set. BME03, I think, was the product code for that. I might be wrong, and I'll look an idiot. I'm happy to do that, I'm used to it. Over here, we have some Cars for Dark Future. A short-lived game, which I feel needs another look into it at some point. Some single figure conversions here, and some banners. Always enjoyed all these snotlings sitting inside a mug, a nice conversion. I want to get hold of that mug, it's quite nice. And I always enjoyed this Crimson Fists banner over here. Next up we have Warhammer 40,000 vignettes and Space Marine squads. And interestingly we have the big missile launcher over here. However, if you look over here, there appears to be a dead tarantula on this person's base. I assume it's probably the molt of the tarantula, as they can sometimes be quite intact. Lots of scratch-built vehicles, always a fun category back in the day. Sadly, we don't see it anymore, as they make all their own vehicles. But this sort of flying scarab beetle thing with a sail looks like something you might see in Dune, or one of its variations. I did enjoy the Indeed. I did enjoy the new Dune movie, by the way. I thought it was very good. Here we have the winners of 1988, and for some reason it made my voice go very high-pitched. And that's what will happen if you win the Golden Demon. Here we see this lovely big Oliphant over here, Ivan Bartlett, in the first prize in Fantasy Vignette category, the overall winner, and therefore he took home the Slayer Sword. And another little scratch-built vehicle over here. Lots of fun things to look at. This looks like a modern paint scheme here on Guy Carpenter's Rhino recovery vehicle, the RV. However, underneath is what you might call an ironic or comedy paint scheme, as we have what appears to be a Eldar Dreadnought, an Eldar Dreadnought painted with the face and hat of Fred Astaire, I think. I think it's Fred Astaire, could be someone else, but I thought he was a famous dancer. Over here we have yet more pieces, another Eldar Dreadnought, and the multiple stacked Rhino vehicle, where you just get lots of rhinos and stick them on top of each other. This would cost you a fortune to build nowadays. Here we have a painting guide, which is all writing and very little picturage. Just with 4 steps here, although there appear to be considerably more than 4 steps in the guide itself. And on the back we have an empty page. On the back we have an advert for the Citadel catalogue, part 1, which I don't have yet. Some of the old paint sets with some of the best artwork ever by Games Workshop in my opinion, and an advert for White Dwarf. We have another Rorschach effect, and I think this is exactly the same as the one on the front cover, as I see the same picture. And the back has glare from my lights, and also some lovely pictures of the contents within, especially this tree here with some apples on it. So, the 1988 Fantasy Miniatures Gallery book. What did you think of that? I think it's really nice to have all the old Golden Demon winners all collated together in one gallery book. I feel it's something they should definitely continue with nowadays. They're lovely pieces. Did you own this book? I got mine off eBay for a princely sum of about £10. I think they go for a lot more than that nowadays. This isn't alcoholic, by the way, although maybe it should be. What do you think was the best miniature in the book? I'm either going to go with maybe one of the Dark Future cars because I find those interesting, or maybe the weird tree with the apples on the back. Do you like the style of old Golden Demon painting? Although some might argue the standard was a bit lower then, I still think it had a lovely look to it, and I really enjoy the aesthetics of the old 80s miniatures. They're very charming, I think is the word we wish to use. If you want to see some more Oldhammer videos, and I know you do, then check out the playlist up here somewhere. As always, thank you very much for watching, and always remember to drill your barrels.